In a world where conformity is the norm, those who dare to stand apart are often misunderstood. The world tends to see only what it can easily categorize and control, leaving little room for those who defy conventional labels. If you've ever felt like you don't quite fit in, misjudged for your silence, questioned for your independence, or labeled as distant, you might be a Sigma. For Sigmas, being different isn't a choice, it's a natural state of being. Your unique way of thinking, your self-reliance, and your refusal to follow the crowd set you apart. Society often misinterprets what it doesn't understand, leading to unfair assumptions and misplaced judgments. You might be called aloof, rebellious, or even arrogant, but those labels come from a place of misunderstanding. The truth is, Sigmas move differently. You operate on a plane where independence, introspection, and authenticity reign supreme. You carve your path, driven by a deep sense of purpose and a desire for a life that's true to who you are. This kind of mindset is not just rare, it's powerful. Yet, anything that deviates from the norm tends to be misunderstood. But here's the key: being misunderstood is not a flaw, it's a testament to your uniqueness. In this video, we'll explore how the world views and often misjudges Sigmas. This isn't about placing blame or pointing fingers. It's about understanding why you stand out and why that's something to embrace. By the end, you'll not only have a clearer understanding of the Sigma experience but also a renewed sense of pride in what makes you unique. So stay tuned, watch till the end, and remember, your strength lies in your difference. Embrace it, own it, and let your Sigma light shine. Let's dive in. Number 1. Perfectionists who are never satisfied. Sigmas are often seen as perfectionists who are never satisfied, but this is a misreading of their relentless drive for self-improvement. To the outside world, their constant striving can appear exhausting or even obsessive, as if nothing is ever good enough. But this pursuit of betterment isn't rooted in dissatisfaction or negativity, it's a deeply personal challenge they set for themselves, one that has nothing to do with critiquing others. For Sigmas, self-improvement is a way of life. They don't compete with others, they compete with who they were yesterday. This internal drive isn't about proving anything or showing off, it's about growth, evolution, and reaching their fullest potential. They hold themselves to high standards, not because they think they're better than others, but because they believe in the value of becoming the best version of themselves. While some might view this as never being satisfied, Sigmas see it as never settling. They don't believe in complacency or resting on their laurels. Life for them is a journey of continuous learning and improvement, and they embrace this wholeheartedly. However, this can be misunderstood. Others may see their relentless pursuit as a sign that they're overly critical or hard to please. But in reality, Sigmas are just as critical of themselves as they are of the world around them. They don't expect perfection from others, they just expect effort and growth from themselves. Their high standards are a reflection of their commitment to excellence, not an unrealistic demand for flawlessness. It's important to understand that for Sigmas, perfection isn't a destination, it's a direction. They know they'll never reach it, but the pursuit itself is what drives them forward. This constant quest for improvement is not about being dissatisfied with life, it's about embracing the journey and finding joy in the process of becoming. Number 2. Intellectual snobs. Sigmas often find themselves branded as intellectual snobs, but this label couldn't be further from the truth. They're not dismissive or condescending, they simply have no patience for shallow thinking. For them, conversations are opportunities to explore, dissect, and challenge ideas, not just exchange words for the sake of filling silence. This depth can intimidate or frustrate those who are more comfortable skimming the surface, leading to unfair judgments. When Sigmas engage, they bring their full focus. They don't entertain fluff or small talk because it doesn't interest them. Instead, they dive into subjects with an intensity that can make others feel exposed or unprepared. This isn't intentional, it's just their nature. They crave meaningful discussions that push boundaries and uncover truths, and they approach these with a sharp, analytical mind. However, those unused to such depth might mistake their approach for arrogance. The reality is, Sigmas aren't trying to make anyone feel inferior. Their refusal to settle for superficiality is about curiosity, not superiority. They're fascinated by the complexity of ideas, systems, and people, and they enjoy peeling back the layers to understand the why behind everything. But in a world that often values convenience over critical thinking, this habit can be seen as overbearing or unnecessary. This misinterpretation stems from projection. Many assume that because Sigmas think deeply, they must also judge harshly. But the truth is, they're usually too focused on the idea itself to concern themselves with the ego of the person presenting it. They're not trying to win intellectual battles, they're just exploring ideas that interest them. Unfortunately, their intensity can make others feel out of their depth, leading to accusations of snobbery. But in fact, Sigmas are just unapologetically passionate about the things that matter to them. Number 3. Judged for their non-compromise. Sigmas are often judged harshly for their refusal to compromise on their values, with many seeing this as stubbornness or arrogance. But what most people fail to understand is that for Sigmas, their integrity is non-negotiable. It's the core of who they are and the foundation of their strength. They don't bend to societal pressures or adjust their beliefs just to gain approval from others. In a world that constantly pushes individuals to conform, compromise, or play the game, Sigmas stand firm in their truth even when it means standing alone. This unwavering commitment to their values can be misunderstood. Others may see it as inflexibility or a refusal to cooperate, especially when it goes against the grain of social expectations. But for Sigmas, compromising their integrity isn't an option. It's not about being difficult or contrarian. It's about maintaining authenticity in a world full of distractions and temptations. The truth is, Sigmas understand the power of staying true to themselves. They know that their integrity is what gives them the strength to navigate life's challenges and to build a life that truly reflects who they are. For them, approval from others is secondary to personal authenticity. They're willing to face judgment or rejection rather than sacrifice their principles for the sake of fitting in or gaining temporary validation. While others may view this as a flaw, Sigmas see it as one of their greatest strengths. Their refusal to compromise is not about arrogance. It's about self-respect, personal growth, and the deep conviction that their values are worth protecting, no matter the cost. Number 4. Labeled as cold. Sigmas are often labeled as cold or emotionally distant, but this judgment stems from a misunderstanding of how they manage their emotions. The world expects people to wear their feelings on their sleeves, to constantly broadcast their emotional state. Sigmas, however, operate differently. Their emotional depth is profound, but it's not something they feel the need to display to everyone around them. For Sigmas, emotions aren't for public consumption. They are a private matter, shared only with those who have earned their trust and respect. To others, this can appear as a lack of warmth or compassion. When Sigmas choose not to display their emotions outwardly or engage in emotional theatrics, it can be misconstrued as indifference or coldness. But the truth is, Sigmas simply reserve their emotional energy for the people and situations that matter most to them. They understand that emotions, especially the deep ones, are sacred and not to be casually shared or manipulated. This selective emotional openness is often misunderstood as a form of detachment or aloofness. However, Sigmas are not emotionless, they simply choose not to engage in the social expectation of constantly displaying or verbalizing every feeling. They know that their emotional world is complex and valuable, and they reserve it for those who have proven themselves worthy of such intimacy. In reality, a Sigma's emotional depth is one of their greatest strengths. It allows them to navigate life with clarity and resilience, unaffected by the noise of the world around them. What may appear as coldness is actually a careful, deliberate choice to protect their inner world and to give their emotional energy only where it's truly deserved. Number 5. Perceived as unapproachable. Sigmas are often perceived as unapproachable simply because they don't conform to social expectations or engage in the typical small talk that many people rely on to break the ice. Their presence is intense, focused, and purpose-driven, which can make others uncomfortable if they are accustomed to more casual, surface-level interactions that dominate social settings. To some, this can appear as standoffishness or aloofness, but in reality, Sigmas are just more selective with their time and energy. Unlike those who thrive on idle chatter or social rituals, Sigmas choose to engage in conversations that have depth and meaning. They don't waste time on superficial pleasantries or meaningless exchanges because they believe that time spent in such ways is time wasted. Their focus is on what matters most to them, and as a result, they're not interested in participating in the noise of trivial conversations. This makes them appear unapproachable to those who expect a different kind of social interaction, but the truth is, Sigmas are not unapproachable, they simply don't conform to the norms of small talk or superficiality. They are open and engaging with those who share their values or offer something of substance. It's not about being distant, it's about choosing to invest their energy in interactions that align with their goals, beliefs, and principles. For those who take the time to understand them, Sigmas are incredibly loyal and open-hearted. They just don't waste time pretending to be something they're not or engaging in conversations that don't serve a purpose. So, if a Sigma seems unapproachable, it's not because they're uninterested in connecting. It's because they're saving their energy for connections that truly matter. Gentlemen, thank you for being part of the Silent Strength Sigma. You are valued. Number 6. Suspicion of their unfiltered nature. Sigmas are often met with suspicion due to their unfiltered, blunt honesty. In a world full of pleasantries and social niceties, their straightforwardness can be jarring. While others tend to soften their words to avoid conflict or discomfort, Sigmas speak the truth without sugarcoating it. This directness can make people uneasy, especially when they're used to navigating the world through polite half-truths or avoiding difficult conversations altogether. To the outside world, this unvarnished honesty often feels like a threat to the status quo. It's uncomfortable to be confronted with the truth, especially when it challenges the comfortable lies people tell themselves or others. Sigmas, however, don't engage in these social games. They see dishonesty and superficiality as barriers to meaningful connection and growth. For them, honesty isn't just a virtue, it's a necessity. By being blunt, they cut through the noise, stripping away the pretenses that cloud genuine communication. This makes Sigmas uncomfortable to be around for some, as their willingness to speak the truth, no matter how unpalatable, forces others to examine their own behaviors, beliefs, and assumptions. While this may make them seem abrasive or disruptive, it's actually the antidote to the layers of falsehoods and surface-level interactions that pervade society. For Sigmas, honesty is not about being harsh or uncaring. It's about encouraging real, meaningful change and fostering an environment where truth can thrive. Number 7. Misunderstood independence as isolation. Sigmas are fiercely independent, often choosing to navigate life on their own terms without seeking external validation or constant companionship. This independence can be misinterpreted as isolation or even loneliness by those who value more traditional social structures. However, for Sigmas, solitude is a choice, not a circumstance forced upon them. They find strength and clarity in their own company, using this time to reflect, plan, and grow without the distractions of societal expectations. To outsiders, this preference for solitude may seem like a rejection of social norms, but for Sigmas, it's a necessary space for personal development and self-reliance. This independence is not about avoiding relationships or people. It's about prioritizing meaningful connections over quantity. Sigmas value deep, genuine interactions and often eschew surface-level relationships. While the world may see this as isolation, Sigmas understand that true connection happens not in constant interaction, but in moments of real engagement. Their independence allows them to maintain their authenticity, free from the pressures of conformity and the superficial demands of society. Number 8. Innovation viewed as disruption. Sigmas are natural innovators, often thinking outside the box and challenging conventional wisdom. This trait, while valuable, can be perceived as disruptive by those who are comfortable with the status quo. In workplaces, communities, and social settings, Sigmas are the ones who question established norms and propose alternative solutions. Their ability to see things from a different perspective makes them invaluable as problem solvers. But it also puts them at odds with systems that resist change. This propensity for innovation isn't about being contrarian for the sake of it. It's about seeking better, more efficient ways to achieve goals. Sigmas are driven by a desire to improve and optimize, which can be misunderstood as a rejection of tradition or a lack of respect for established practices. In reality, their approach is about progress and evolution, not disruption for its own sake. They see possibilities where others see limitations, and while this can be unsettling to some, it's a testament to their forward-thinking mindset. Number 9. Emotional self-control perceived as lack of empathy. Sigmas are known for their emotional self-control, often approaching situations with a calm, collected demeanor. This ability to remain composed in the face of adversity or conflict can be misinterpreted as a lack of empathy or emotional engagement. However, this perception couldn't be further from the truth. Sigmas feel deeply but choose to express their emotions in a measured, thoughtful way rather than reacting impulsively. Their emotional self-control allows them to navigate complex situations with clarity and poise, making them reliable and steady in times of crisis. While others may equate visible emotional expression with empathy, Sigmas understand that true empathy involves listening, understanding, and responding thoughtfully. Their controlled approach ensures that their actions are guided by reason and compassion, even if they don't wear their hearts on their sleeves. This emotional intelligence is a strength, not a weakness, though it may be misunderstood by those who equate empathy with emotional display. Number 10. Strategic thinking misjudged as manipulation. Sigmas are strategic thinkers, always planning several steps ahead and considering the long-term implications of their actions. This foresight and planning can sometimes be misconstrued as manipulation by those who don't understand their intentions. However, Sigma's strategic nature is not about controlling others. It's about navigating life effectively and efficiently. They approach challenges with a calculated mindset, aiming to achieve the best outcomes through careful consideration and preparation. This strategic approach is often a defense mechanism, born from a desire to avoid unnecessary risks and ensure success. Sigmas prefer to think things through rather than act on impulse, which can make them appear overly calculated to those who are more spontaneous. In reality, their strategy is a form of self-protection and a way to maximize their potential. Their actions are guided by a deep understanding of cause and effect, not by a desire to manipulate others. This thoughtful planning ensures that they stay true to their values and achieve their goals without compromising their integrity. If you found this video insightful or relatable, why not join our growing community? Subscribe to the channel for more content exploring the mindsets, traits, and behaviors of Sigma males. Your engagement helps us dive deeper into these unique perspectives. Be sure to like this video if it resonated with you, share it with someone who might appreciate it, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Remember, as a Sigma male or someone inspired by their path, staying true to yourself is the ultimate strength. Keep evolving, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.